Okay, we can get 20% of our products give us 80% of our revenue. Okay? Agreed? Okay, how do we find out who our 20% are? Okay, go to your CFO or your controller or your accountant. Have them take and process to an Excel spreadsheet your customer by revenue, high to low, and by gross profit, high to low. Why am I doing both? Does anybody run a production line in here? Go ahead and answer.
Because you want to know who's bringing you the most money.
Correct. In production, if I reward volume, what happens to quality? If all I do is reward volume, you know, we're pushing units out and pushing units and the quality goes down. If all I do is reward 0 defects, what happens to volume? It goes down. You have to take a volume quality goal and there has to be a middle point where it works. So I'm going to give you, here's your volume goal is revenue for the client, and this one is your quality goal, your profit. Okay, you sort that. And then what you do, once it's in the spreadsheet, you can accumulate this till it hits 80%. Right? Who are these customers right here? Your top 20. What are they? Those are your high value clients, folks. They're giving you 80% of your business. Now, if I sent magic tickets to every one of these top 20, would that be a plus, minus, or a neutral? Yeah, the top 20 customers. So we don't know. The answer is I don't know. If they're Magic fans, great. If they're not, then I wasted sending them the tickets, right? So give me some positions that you would want to have a relationship in these top 20 customers. So positions, titles. Who would we want to have a relationship with? Huh? Yeah. Who do we want to build? That's what I want to ask. Who? Give me a title of a relationship we want to build. Yeah. Okay. Certainly, the person that's in charge of procurement or purchasing, right? Don't we want to have the owner or a CXO person, right? A decision person. Who else would we want to have a relationship with? Yeah, so we'll call it the implementer. That's great. Somebody who's going to implement this. Yep, so we got purchasing. Great. Bing, bing, bing. Okay, this is my number one answer. If you want to get paid in less than 30 days, know that person's name, know their family. Hey, Alice, did you get my invoice? I was just checking. And how's the son doing in college? Oh, he's doing pretty good. Well, where are we? Where do we think we're going to get paid? Well, you're on for the 30th. Great. Thanks a bunch, Alice. Hey, when are we going to go to lunch again? Oh, knowing the accounts payable person, golden, if you want to get paid. Okay? All right. So the point here is not everybody likes the same thing. You agree? They're all different individuals. How do we find out what they like? Don't we meet with them or talk to them or ask them? Right? We want to have some kind of relationship with them. Now, we're building, in the proactive, we're building relationships. That's what we're trying to build, is personal relationships. Now, here's the benefits for this. And I don't like using red for benefits, but it'll show up better. Okay. Tell me, who has a lot of SKUs in their company? That's a lot of products. What is a typical customer order from you? How many SKUs? 3. What's your total SKUs?
Total that I have?
Yeah.
100,000.
Wow. Okay, this is really a good example. All right. Typically, a customer will only order about 5 to 20% of the total line, right? So he's ordering a fraction. So what benefits you get is what I call synergistic buys. So I had one of my members who sold wholesale pumps. 95% of his business was selling wholesale pumps. But he also sold filters, liners, and chemicals. Nobody knew he sold filters, liners, and chemicals until we went out and started talking to the key decision people, and they said, well, why don't you just give us a bid on your filters, liners, and chemicals? So you can get synergistic buys. Okay, Linda, is there anyone in here that you think needs evaluation?
Oh, I would think that the Martinez brothers are.
Okay, the brothers, we've talked about at break. Hey, Linda and I were talking, and she said that you and I might have some synergy between our companies. Would you mind going to lunch and let's just explore? I'll pay. What's the probability of them going to lunch if I use Linda told me to call them? Almost 100%. Person will go to lunch with you. I'm not ever going to mention valuation, by the way, at the lunch. I'm going to find out all about your company, what you're doing. I'm going to build a relationship. Now, maybe in visit 2 or lay at the 1, you say, well, I heard you did valuation. Then I might mention it, but I'm not going to mention it. I'm building a relationship. So what you get here is referrals. Golden referrals, by the way. You get a referral from this person, you use their name to get into that. Almost 100% of the time, that person will let you go to lunch and talk about it. Okay, has anybody ever heard of the pain of change? Anybody heard of that principle? If you have a reactive customer service program, typically, by the way, there's differences of how you run a reactive program. So don't hold me totally. I'm going to give you a ratio of what this does. The pain of change for a reactive is typically 10%, meaning if you have a 10% higher price than your competitors, they will change from you. They'll be looking to change from you. Do you know what the pain factor goes to if you build a personal relationship? So this is retention. The pain factor goes to 40%. That means you can have a 30% higher price and they won't switch from you if you have a personal relationship with your customers. You can take your customer base, your existing customer base, do this analysis. You can 20% to 400% your revenue by using your existing customer base and using this technique. All right? And I'm giving you the statistics because I've actually done this in over 100 companies. Okay, now, so operation-wise, let's take a break. Or what time are we? Are we at 10:30? 10:20? Is that where we're at? It's been about 45 minutes. So we've covered the financial. We've covered the operational, which is the productivity pyramid and our 80/20 customer gold program. I've got a couple of strategic ones, and then we're going to answer your business questions. Okay? Now, back to the productivity pyramid. I want to give you an index. So you can measure the productivity of your team. Going back to the volume idea and the quality guy idea, what I want you to track, the reason I asked you this question, is revenue per full-time equivalent, graph it. Go back and graph over the last 2 years your revenue per full-time equivalent. That's your productivity index from volume. The quality is your margin. Full-time equivalent means if you have a couple of part-time people, you have to add that up to the 40 hours, or you can do payroll. You can do revenue per payroll dollar, okay?
You're talking revenue per head?
Yes.
Like how many people in the building?
Yes.
Like that?
Yes. So like software companies usually have somewhere between $500,000 to $1 million per full-time equivalent. Manufacturing companies somewhere between $150,000 to $300,000 per full-time equivalent. But I don't want you to take the industry. I want you to just go back 2 years. Go back 2 years and track these, okay? Gross profit, or I would rather have you do contribution margin if you have it, per full-time, and revenue per full-time. So this is the metric I want you to track. When you start using this productivity pyramid, in 3 to 9 months, you're actually going to see a tick up in your productivity. And this is how I can tell the percentage of productivity change that I have in a company, is after we implement this, 3 to 9 months, we start seeing a productivity change.